First Peter 3:15 tells us, sanctify Christ as Lord in your hearts, always being ready to make a defense to everyone who asks you to give an account for the hope that is in you, yet with gentleness and reverence. I wanted to just kind of quickly recommend some of my favorite debates that I watched, Christian versus atheist debates, which can be very highly educational, learning how to do apologetics. I think one of my favorite debates that shows presuppositional apologetics in action. There's a debate on YouTube called Epic Debate on God's Existence. And it was three Christians against three atheists. Cy Ten Brudenkate, he's a Christian apologist. Yeah, he was involved in that. So was Jeff Durbin. I forget the other guy who was on their team. But that was a fantastic debate. Highly recommend that on YouTube. Also, on the Unbelievable radio program, that's also on YouTube. Well, you could just Google Unbelievable Radio, the Unbelievable Radio program, where Cy Ted Brudenkate was also in another debate against someone named Paul Baird, B-A-I-R-D. Their first debate was unbelievably awesome. I mean, it was a good display showing presuppositional apologetics in action. If you type in, when you go to the website of Christian, the Unbelievable Radio, it's unbelievable. It's 31 July 2010, presuppositional apologetics, presuppositional apologetic proof of God. So that's what you would look for. If you go to the search engine, just type in Cy Ten Brudenkate, and their two debates will show up. I highly recommend their first debate. It was really, really good. The Triune God of Scripture Lives, Dr. James White versus Dan Barker. That's another really good one on the existence of God. Dr. White is awesome. He also, James White debated Dan Barker. If you type in Jesus, myth or Messiah, or was Jesus a myth? That was a fantastic debate because Dan Barker, co-founder of Freedom from Religion, he was trying to use the argument that Christianity borrowed from pagan mythology, which is an argument that's used in colleges. And what was great about this is Dr. White, he exposed the false parallels that they try to draw. So that one's really good in exposing the errors in those atheist arguments trying to assert that Christianity borrowed from pagan mythology. I highly recommend. Dr. James White also debated Bart Ehrman. Dr. Ehrman is the leading critic of the New Testament in the English language. In the cross-examination, I think the name of the debate was "Did the Bible misquote Jesus?" In the cross-examination, Dr. White got Dr. Ehrman to admit that out of all the documents of the ancient world, the New Testament is by far the best attested work of antiquity. Now, John Lennox is not a presuppositionalist, but he has, I like some of his debates. I disagree with him in some areas. But if you get a chance to see John Lennox versus Richard Dawkins, that's on YouTube. That's their second debate, Has Science Buried God? And that's a really good one. That one's only an hour 20 minutes. That's the one where Dawkins, he in his book, in one of Dawkins' book, he said something that the existence of Jesus is under scholarly dispute, and Lennox got him to take that back in the debate. Dawkins, the leader of the New Atheist movement, he said, "I take that back. Jesus existed." Good. It's good stuff to show your atheist friends. Yeah, so that's Lennox and Dawkins. That's their second debate. Has science buried God? John Lennox had a pretty good debate with a famous leading atheist, Lawrence Krauss. That was another really good one. And I forgot to mention in my last video, Answers in Genesis. They have a lot of free articles on their website. I highly recommend answering certain atheist objections. You go to their website and go to the search bar and type in maybe the verse or something that has to do with the argument that you're looking for, and it's very possible that they have an article on it on the website. So they have a lot of free articles on there, and they have some, their books and their DVDs are just fantastic. I love their teaching. Science confirms the Bible. That was really great. I love in this teaching where Ken Ham, he plays a video clip where Dawkins, leader of the New Atheist movement, is being interviewed, and they're talking about the complexity of DNA. And so they're talking about, intelligent design. And so Dawkins says that, maybe it's possible that we were actually created by some alien species because where the DNA, it's so complex, our biology. So that's great to show an atheist, because Dawkins, he's a scientist, he's a leader of the New Atheist movement, and he's not opposed to all intelligent design, only intelligent design that would say that there is a God. So if you know anything about the debate of the existence of God, the complexity of DNA, that's one of the biggest arguments. There are some presuppositionalists, they don't believe in using evidence, but there are some that do. And there is, I think, one of the easiest books out there, and a really good one, that teaches how to do apologetics presuppositionally, the biblical way. It's a book by Jason Lisle called Ultimate Proof of Creation, and that's really, really good. It teaches you how to do presuppositional apologetics. Jason Lisle, there was a list on the internet saying that the Bible has 420 contradictions. He went through the whole list and said there are no contradictions, and he wrote Keeping Faith in an Age of Reason, refuting, he tackled all 420 arguments. This is a really good book, Reinventing Jesus, and history. It gets into a lot of different things, the Gnostic Gospels, the canon. It just gets into a lot of different things. It's really good. Reinventing Jesus. Daniel Wallace is one of the contributors on that. And Bart Ehrman, his books are, some of them are New York Times bestsellers. And in the Popular Handbook of Archaeology in the Bible, that's another really good one I recommend. In this book, Geisler, or it's Joseph Holden and Norman Geisler, and they have a couple of chapters. There's a few chapters there where they deal with some of Ehrman's arguments. So I definitely highly recommend that. And of course, as Christians, we know the only reason why an atheist holds to his position is because it's what God's revelation gives us the answer to that in Romans 1. It's because they love their sin, so they suppress the truth. So I just wanted to recommend those resources, those debates. I highly recommend watching those debates because you could learn a lot from them. I mean, really, you could just check out those debates. Go on YouTube and the Unbelievable Radio, the website for Unbelievable Radio, and that's pretty much it for now.